You already know what's ruining your life. The person, the habit, the constant need for approval. But you keep holding on because being alone scares you more than being miserable. Marcus Aurelius warned that attachment is weakness, and the longer you ignore the truth, the more peace you lose. In this video, you'll learn how to walk away from everything that drains your mind, your energy and your future before it destroys you completely. Rule 1. Stop chasing people who drain you. Most people never leave toxic situations because they confuse attachment with love. They think suffering proves loyalty. They think sacrificing their peace makes them a good person. But Marcus Aurelius would look at that kind of thinking and call it emotional slavery. Because if someone only values you when you obey them, when you stay quiet, when you ignore your own needs just to keep them comfortable, then that is not love. That is control disguised as affection. And the terrifying truth is that many people around you secretly benefit from your weakness. They want you insecure, because insecure people are easier to manipulate, easier to guilt trip, easier to keep trapped inside cycles that slowly kill confidence and self-respect. And maybe you already know this feeling. Maybe you feel exhausted every time you talk to someone. Maybe you constantly explain yourself, constantly apologize for things that are not even your fault, constantly shrink your personality just to avoid conflict. And little by little, without realizing it, you start abandoning yourself just to keep others from leaving. But here is the brutal truth Marcus Aurelius understood. People who truly value you will never force you to betray yourself in order to keep them, because real connections bring peace, not confusion, clarity, not emotional chaos. And one of the most painful moments in life is realizing some people only loved the version of you that tolerated disrespect, the version of you that stayed silent, the version of you that accepted less than you deserved. And once you begin changing, once you gain discipline, boundaries and self-respect, suddenly they become uncomfortable. Suddenly they accuse you of changing. But what they really mean is they can no longer control you the way they used to. And that is why walking away feels so difficult, because your mind keeps replaying old memories, old emotions, old versions of people that no longer exist. You keep hoping they will become who you imagined they could be. But Stoicism teaches something most people avoid hearing. You must judge people by reality, not by potential, because potential is fantasy. Reality is truth, and holding on to false hope is one of the fastest ways to destroy your inner peace. Sometimes the strongest thing you can do is accept that certain people were only meant to teach you a lesson, not stay in your life forever. And once you understand that, everything changes. Because now you stop begging for closure, you stop chasing validation, you stop trying to fix people who enjoy remaining broken. Instead, you become calm, detached, and emotionally free. And the moment you stop needing people who disrespect you, you take your power back. Because a man who can walk away from toxic attachment becomes impossible to control. Rule 2. Walk away from weak habits. Not every enemy in your life comes in the form of another person. Some of the most dangerous enemies live inside your daily routine, hidden in the habits you repeat every single day without thinking. Because Marcus Aurelius knew that a man's destiny is shaped by what he repeatedly allows into his mind. And the terrifying reality is that most people are slowly destroying themselves through comfort, distraction, laziness, endless scrolling, cheap dopamine, toxic entertainment, constant comparison, and habits so small they barely notice them. But over time, those habits become chains, and the scary part is they feel normal. Because modern life teaches people to escape discomfort instead of facing it. People run to their phones the second they feel lonely. They binge entertainment to avoid silence. They numb pain instead of healing it. And little by little, their mind becomes weaker without them realizing it. Because every habit either builds your future or destroys it. There is no middle ground. And maybe you know exactly what this feels like. Maybe you wake up already exhausted. Maybe your focus is gone. Maybe your motivation disappears faster every year. And deep down, you know you are capable of more. But something keeps pulling you back into the same destructive cycle. That is the silent danger Marcus Aurelius warned about. Because what controls your habits eventually controls your life. And most people wait until their life completely falls apart before they finally change. But Stoicism teaches you to become aware before destruction arrives. Because discipline is not punishment. Discipline is self-respect. It is choosing long-term peace over short-term pleasure. And the painful truth is that some habits feel good in the moment precisely because they are slowly ruining you. Comfort seduces people into mediocrity, and mediocrity quietly steals years from their life. Think about how many dreams die simply because someone could not control their impulses. How many men destroy their future because they chose temporary pleasure over purpose? And Marcus Aurelius understood that the strongest man is not the man who conquers others. It is the man who conquers himself, because once you control your mind, distractions lose power over you. Temptation loses power over you. Emotional weakness loses power over you. And suddenly you stop depending on motivation because your discipline becomes stronger than your feelings. And that is when your entire life changes, because the moment you walk away from habits that poison your mind, you create space for clarity, strength, focus, and peace. And most people never experience that level of peace because they remain addicted to the very things destroying them. Rule 3. Detach from what you can't control. Most people destroy their own peace, trying to control things that were never theirs to control in the first place. Other people's opinions, other people's feelings, the past, the future, outcomes, rejection, betrayal. And that is exactly why so many minds today are exhausted. Because they are fighting battles that cannot be won. Marcus Aurelius understood this deeply. He knew that suffering grows the moment you become emotionally attached to things outside your control. Because the truth is brutal, no matter how loyal you are, some people will still leave no matter how hard you work. Life will still hit you with pain, no matter how good your intentions are. Some people will still misunderstand you. And the faster you accept this, the faster you become free. Because peace does not come from controlling life. Peace comes from mastering your response to life. And maybe this is the lesson you need right now. Maybe you are losing sleep over someone's opinion. Maybe you are replaying old mistakes in your head every night. Maybe you keep trying to force situations that clearly are not meant for you. And deep down, you know it is draining your soul. Because the human mind suffers more from imagination than reality. You keep creating fake scenarios, fake fears, fake outcomes, until anxiety becomes your normal state. And Marcus Aurelius warned that a man who cannot control his thoughts becomes controlled by them. That is why Stoicism teaches detachment, not because Stoics are cold, but because attachment to uncontrollable things destroys inner peace. Imagine how powerful your life becomes once you stop needing everyone to understand you. Once you stop begging for closure, once you stop trying to control every outcome, suddenly rejection stops terrifying you, failure stops breaking you, delays stop frustrating you. Because now your emotions are no longer chained to external events. And that is real power. because weak people need life to go perfectly in order to stay calm. But strong people remain calm even when life falls apart. And the truth is, some things must break in order for you to grow. Some people must leave in order for you to evolve. Some disappointments are actually protection in disguise. But most people never realize this because they spend their entire life resisting reality instead of accepting it. And the more you resist reality, the more pain you create for yourself. Because life does not care about your expectations. Life only responds to your ability to adapt. And Marcus Aurelius mastered this better than anyone. He faced betrayal, loss, stress, war, and pressure beyond imagination. Yet he remained calm because he understood one thing most people never learn. You cannot always control what happens around you, but you can always control who you become because of it. And the moment you finally understand that, your entire life changes. Because now you stop wasting energy on things outside your control. And instead, you focus on your discipline, your mindset, your actions, your peace. And that is when you become emotionally dangerous. Because nothing is more powerful than a person who stays calm while the world tries to break them. One day you will look back at your life and realize the biggest transformation did not happen when people finally understood you. It happened the moment you stopped needing them to. Because walking away from what no longer serves you is not weakness. It is self-respect. Marcus Aurelius knew that peace begins when attachment ends. And the truth is, not everyone deserves access to your energy, your heart, or your future. Some people were only meant to be temporary lessons. Some habits were meant to be destroyed, and some versions of yourself were never meant to survive this next chapter of your life. So if this video spoke to something deep inside you, do not ignore it, because your future depends on the decisions you are afraid to make today. And remember, the moment you stop chasing what drains you, you finally create space for what truly belongs to you. Subscribe to Stoic Spark for more powerful Stoic wisdom, and press the bell icon so you never miss the next step in your transformation.